on and on it goes with my freighters coming in and dropping off more workers.
A good leader listens to the people, Presidente.
Oh, here we go.
Show you care for your Tropican comrades and win their hearts and souls, though you do not get to keep them, okay?
Speaking of souls, I'd imagine that El Presidente is looking forward to joining me in heaven rather than going to the other place. The Good Shepherd looks after the sheep, don't you agree?
I'll go ahead and produce corn because I can already do that. And in fact, look at how fast that's going.
Reports of downtown vandalism are greatly exaggerated.
I meant to...
The fashionable new distressed architecture style is apolitical and proves nothing anyway, the palace says.
Yeah, great. I never thought that I would have so many rebels. So, I thought that that was the religious demand. I thought that they wanted me to produce fish, actually. Okay, these rebels are getting really out of hand. I've never had so many problems with rebels. This is really obnoxious. I mean, I have enough people here, enough of a military to protect them, but I've never had this many issues. Is everything really so bad that you guys are like constantly causing me problems? Let me just go ahead and solve some of these problems for you. Some more. This church is running overtime. All of these are running overtime. These people, they gotta have faith, you know? They gotta have more faith. They gotta have faith and they gotta keep their faith. Nobody is even living in these. Well, somebody was living in that one. The waste of my precious space. Build another church. And these churches can actually help me out in the long run. I need to build a ministry, but I don't... Oh, yeah, I can afford this. So what I need to do here... I hate placing this damn thing down. I guess I could do it over here. It's such a big building, and it doesn't need road access, so I guess I'll go ahead and put it over here. My dungeon is absolutely jammed. I need to build another prison as well. I should probably build the prison somewhere where it is unlikely to get very easily destroyed. The dungeon is here. Here's the prison. All of this cost me quite a bit, but I'll go ahead and put the prison over here somewhere, close to this military base. Let me make sure there aren't any resources or anything like that, you know, that I have to worry about. I could have more crops over here, right? There aren't any other good resources that I'm missing out on. There's some coal and gold over there. The thing about these guerrillas is once people rebel, a citizen who's a rebel is a normal citizen, but after they rebel, they become a guerrilla. They are no longer living in society. They're living off in the woods, and they continuously attack and run away. And unfortunately, they keep getting away. But I'll have to do something about that, I guess. I'm not sure how I'm going to make use of these other islands. There isn't much that I can do right now. I might want to go ahead and just put the prison over here somewhere, close by. Putting it close by to my military base isn't a bad idea. I could put it here. This is going to take up space, so let me do it here. They can get on the bus to go turn themselves in. Let me also take a look at the crime safety over here. I have very high crime safety, you know? It's not bad or anything. Where is the liberty bad? There isn't any bad liberty either. I've got really decent liberty. If I look at my people, special citizens, there are only 22 criminals. 8 of them are already in the dungeon. And I do believe this is on...
The citizens are demanding elections, Presidente. It seems that they want a choice in how they are ruled. So selfish.
Okay. Everything has gotten a lot better, ultimately. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge the issue of housing happiness. I'm gonna go ahead and praise the religious faction again. Do I want to blame the ally? Why not? I'm pissed at them. I mean, I really am. The only question is, they are going to attack me again, but it won't matter. Because I've had big enough military to deal with them. And I might promise to improve faith happiness. Because I had, acknowledged the issue of housing happiness.
People of Tropico, it is I, your Presidente. You have showed your faith in me, and that faith will be rewarded. Every Tropican will get what they deserve. And what of my people? I feel your pain when your walls shudder and your roofs leak. Those of you who have roofs. But soon, roofs for all, and walls for many. As we strive, God shall not forsake our beautiful shores. Our spiritual friends guarantee this, for which we owe them one, in this life and the next. Of course, we have enemies too. These so-called allies mislead with their very name. Their propaganda is advanced, but we shall not be fooled. For my next step, I call upon your faith. We shall rise above the obstacles in our path. A golden age of piety is dawning. Together, we will believe. It is you, my friends, who I thank for making me what I am today. I am proud to be your Presidente. Viva Tropico!
Yeah, conflict labor. Okay. By doing this, if you look at my dungeon, you'll see that it actually has produced $24,000, whereas this one has cost me money because that by default...
I had the nightmare again, Presidente. No, not the penguins. The destruction of Tropico by falling bombs.
Okay. Because by default, prisons don't produce money. They cost money. But if you have enough prisoners and you have convict labor on, then they actually produce you money instead. Ordinarily, I will turn prisons off. I will, disable the building when there aren't any criminals around to be punished. So that way they don't cost me any money in upkeep. you're just like, okay, we don't need these right now. They're closed until the next time there's a major crime issue. And then you just make sure to turn them back on and put them on convict labor whenever there are a lot of issues. Here we go. This is what I'm going to go ahead and do. I can have a ministry and departments building here, which will allow me to go ahead and put in some departments, some ministers from various political parties. The Department of Education. Okay, now, under normal circumstances, you would have to be a complete lunatic to put communist in charge of the education. But all it'll do is increase the student slots in the building by 2 per teacher. So it's actually worth it. It'll just mean more people can get educated. The other ones will just shift, the religious and the militarist will just shift their political views, which is not useful. And because I don't care about people's political views. And the capitalists will make it so that way poor people can't be enrolled, but you do make money. So it can be useful for sure, especially if you don't need a bunch of college-educated people, and too many people are going to college who would be better off just staying with their high school education or entering the workforce right away. I'll go with this one. Doing this also increases your standing with each of their respective factions. The Department of Defense. Police stations provide infantry squads, minus 10% upkeep, $75 in secret Swiss per month. The capitalist is the best. Minus 10% upkeep, in my opinion, is really good because I need to have those military buildings, especially they are military police. Department of Economy, let's see what they have. Minus 7% construction costs for residential buildings. Increase the efficiency of buildings on a maximum budget. That's useless. You get 85 secret Swiss per month. I might actually take that. Okay, Department of Foreign Affairs. Increase the efficiency of raid buildings, or you get 100 secret Swiss per month. I might go ahead and do this. Department of Interior. This is the most important. This is why I built this building. So the communist candidate gives increased job quality by 2. But the religious candidate, this is the super powerful one. Rebels and criminals have a 10% chance to lose their role every time they visit a chapel, a church, or a cathedral. That is super valuable because I really don't like to kill citizens, and I would like them to just behave themselves so that way they can become a productive member of society again. 10% chance is a pretty significant chance. So I will go ahead and do that. For every time they visit these, I've got religious buildings all around. There are loads of people attending. And a 10% chance each time they enter to confess their sins and start being a law-abiding citizen again. Alright, let's take a look. Another thing that I should probably do now that I've fixed the economy and my support is really high, it's probably a good idea to invent electricity at some point, because I still don't have that. Let me take a look actually at these oil wells. Did I ever manage to have them efficiently staffed? Yes, I have. Right now I'm just exporting all of my oil. But, I might be able to, where would it be? Not an industry. Infrastructure, probably. Power plant. Yeah, okay. This uses coal in order to power. It doesn't use... You can't use oil. Oil is only for export for some reason in this game. But if I'm not mistaken, this is a coal mine. And I'm not selling coal. So I'm going to go ahead and build a power plant here. This will allow me to power basically this entire island. Let me go ahead and build it here. It doesn't really matter where you build it too much. So I might put it over here so it's close by to the other oil well, to these oil wells here. Because if I do that, I can much more easily clean up the pollution with a nice building around here. Can I build landfills yet? That's kind of important too. Here it is, the garbage dump. It can only be built in the Cold War. That's why I couldn't find it. They didn't invent garbage dumps yet until the Cold War, which is just fantastic. If you take a look, let me take a look here. Let me look here at my pollution. It's not that bad at all, but you can start to see that it's not all good either. It's going to be a serious, serious problem if I don't get out of the World War era, you know, at some point. Yeah, I'm in the middle of sabotaging my allies, or not my allies, the allies. Let's go ahead and also look at this. I think that only one of these can do something at a time. They want me to build another Teamster's office, the militarists do, which is something I almost immediately forgot about, but is super important. I tend to think that's not a bad idea, honestly. Let me think here. I have 2 Teamsters offices over here, I think. Yeah, I've got one there, one there. I'll build another one right over here. Just across the street from this one. Once I'm done with that.
A spate of vandalism has been denounced by the palace as sour grapes. Poor people simply don't understand the pressures of wealth, a spokesperson said.
Where are they targeting here? Oh, they'll never make it to that. Yeah, they're gonna be intercepted. I hope. Come on. Come on, come and get them. The guerrillas are somehow doing a pretty good job, aren't they? They will all be wiped out this time, though. They won't escape.
Presidente, your aid is appreciated. With your help, we'll double our armed forces, redouble our efforts, and halve our expectations.
That's what I expect. Not even using that, but I'll rebuild it anyway. Why not? Let me go ahead and take a look. I forgot to ever send these out, didn't I? I can send those out. Look at how much money I'm making, and I didn't even have all my trade routes going. Yeah. I have another available trade route as well. I should just go ahead and take something at 20%, you know? Just for a short time at least. Like, you know, coffee, why not? I'll go ahead and just do that. A medium-sized contract just to fill out.
Tropico has ceased trading with a certain major superpower. The palace's statement? They don't trade fair, so neither will we.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not very happy, the allies. Yeah, they really don't like me. I don't know why they have to be so evil, you know? Why would they do such a thing?
I'm sure the good citizens of Tropico intend to vote for you, Presidente. I myself intend to vote for you many, many times.
Okay. Go ahead and try it. You'll never make it in time. Trying to attack the cigar factory. That's like the most unpatriotic thing you could do. These guys are still heading over here. They don't even know where they're going. They can't make it to the right place in time. They're like running around place to place. There they are. There they go.
We are receiving new...
The election is a landslide, Presidente. The metaphorical kind, not the kind that accidentally reduces the size of the workforce.
Yeah. I'll just bet it was. Right. So since I went ahead and won the election, you're able to amend the Constitution. Or you're prompted to do it every single time that you win. But I don't need to do that.
Presidente, I know you always keep your promises, but the citizens today can be very exacting about what counts as a fulfilled promise.
Right. These little bastards just keep fleeing. God. That is not good. They just keep running away. You know what? Now that I've won my election, now's a good time to go ahead and look at happiness. Everything is mostly pretty good. Housing is what needs to be fulfilled the most. I said that I'd upgrade my faith happiness a lot. So let me go ahead and do that. I also wanted to add some grocery stores, which would improve food happiness by a lot. So if I do that over here, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Just across the street from the burning cigar factory, where the guerrillas are running away like the cowards that they are. Yeah, labor policy. Let's go ahead and modify that, shall we? A new labor policy. The default state is that, by default, the way that it works... No, that's not what I want. I just wanted to look at it. Where is it? Revert changes. Right. Basically, people start working at the age of 18, and they retire at the age of, like, what is it, 70? Early retirement, they retire 5 years earlier, increases job quality by 5, and then a life's work. Citizens start working at the age of 14 and cannot retire. Decreases the life expectancy by 5 years. Decreases the job quality of each workplace by 2, decreases the immigration rate by 10%. We're going with that, a life's work, so that way people can start working at the age of 14 and never retire. Who would want to do that anyway? That way, people can start going to college at the age of 6. When they're born with their high school education and start working at the age of 14. now I can... I also need to continuously... Let's take a look here. This is where my electricity is. I need to go ahead and put down a substation around here that'll allow the rest of the island to have electricity. Let's just go ahead and put it right here. And then I can put it right over here. It doesn't even have to be in any place that particularly makes sense. It doesn't need road access or anything. That'll
It is a
cover
great day for our
everything.
comrades. We even had cake to celebrate.
Good for you specifically. Yeah, that covers a huge area, and so does this one. That covers pretty much everything. Oh, hang on. Wait, I see an issue here. This doesn't have power, but it doesn't need power right now. So I'll ignore that for now. Also, I'll be able to turn on the Funfair Pier now. As soon as the substation's built, you know.
Atomic bombs. Fact or fiction? Tropican scientists say, we don't understand the physics. Palace says, try harder.
Upgrade all of my buildings so that they all require 17 buildings. There we go. They will all be upgraded so that way they now all require electricity. People have electricity in their housing now. And the apartments too. There we go. And I held down control so that upgraded every single building. Not counting these tiny country houses or these bunkhouses. That's good.
I understand our requests have been fulfilled.
Finally, after all these years, we have finally made this alliance
You make
work.
the only choice available, Presidente, to support the glorious Axis. Do not change your mind. We hate mind changes.
Alright, now I just have to wait for a very, very long time or survive 6 allied invasions. I don't know which is going to happen first. This seems like it's a lot more requirements than the last. I remember the last time I played, I had to wait for only 3 years to win. This is... Oh, well, actually, what am I saying? This is in days. So actually, yeah. I don't know. That is a lot more than 3 years. I'm not sure. It was also 3 as well that I had to potentially wait through. Either way...
Our brave Presidente today took a courageous step by forming an audacious alliance with the spunky Axis. Now they won't invade us.
Yeah.
Do not panic, Presidente, but I bring news of a threat so unthinkable, I cannot even tell you what it is.
I love this guy. He's the greatest military general ever. I would definitely trust this guy, you know? And you know what? He trusts me too. That's why I'm his favorite. Allies declare an embargo on Tropico. I'm so scared. I haven't been trading with them at all. Literally not one little bit. I am absurdly wealthy from trading with the Axis. You have no idea how much money I have. It's insane. It's a ludicrous amount. You know what? There are too many unemployed people. I think that... Oh, for God's sake. What is this? I'm not producing enough electricity, right? I'll show you how it's done. This is a coal mine as well. Let me go ahead and build. Now that I'm starting to make lots of money, I'm ready for this. If I can remember where it is again. Where I literally just went. It's in infrastructure. Power plant. First of all, I'll put this over here. Also, let me go ahead and get some more plantations going. Over here. Tobacco, sugar, potentially. Coffee. You know, all the good stuff that I need. Maybe over here would be better. Yeah. I know that there's a bunch of, I know that there's probably a bunch of gorillas hiding in their mud huts over here. That they're hiding out. Those uncivilized gorillas. Maybe they'll rejoin if I make a banana plantation. You know? I feel like they might. They are just a bunch of filthy savages that hate Tropico because they are the worst. They're just the worst of the worst, literally. The worst kind of savages. You go ahead, go here. All right. I'm gonna wait for these to construct, and then everyone will have jobs, and there will be a whole plantation and ranch economy over here. And then I'll be able to also put in some rum distilleries and cigar factories as well. Each of these is a different resource, so I can multiculture it. I didn't think to put this in, but I did leave the space for it, intuitively. Let me see here. I might be able to squeeze in, if I put it like this, I might be able to squeeze in one more plantation. Let me go ahead and do that. Where is it? Here. My favorite, which is sugar, although that wouldn't really be too bad. What about tobacco? Oh, I could squeeze one more of these in. Not a bad one. No, not a great. 74%. Not bad. I don't know if that reaches or not. We'll see. Once I've done that, there will be loads and loads of good stuff. It's far away from where the pollution is.
It's better to be one of the allies than one of the Axis. You get to be an ally.
Yeah, get out of here.
Reports of downtown vandalism are greatly exaggerated. The fashionable new...
Remember the story of the man who built his house on a foundation of sand, Presidente?
You want me to build a circus on a foundation of sand, I guess. I can do that. Well, if that's what you want, you know. That works for me. We already have quite a few circuses, but you can never have too many, really. You know, I understand. we could build one over here, because eventually I want this to be a location that will also have, you know, tourism. Speaking of tourism, I haven't unlocked that yet. It's in the Cold War. What a tragedy. This guard tower only needs to hold them off for a short time while we go to engage the attacker. There we go, we got them. We got them locked down now. They should all die horribly, for sure. I swear, these are like student protesters with how often they keep showing up at the college campus. You'd think that they'd stop coming back after we've killed them so many times. They never learn. I don't know why. I don't know how, actually. Anyway, this is done being built. Everyone's moved in. Multiculture. Corn, tobacco, cocoa. Some of these other cash crops are still worthwhile, not as good as sugar or tobacco. But they are still worth it. Plus, stuff like cotton is still really good as well. And my tobacco is all the way over here. So these aren't... Yeah, this is benefiting fully as much as it can. And you can see now that that is all very good. It's far enough away. Let's take a look at the efficiency of these. Right? You can see that they are all mostly very efficient because of multiculture. They get most of their efficiency back, and they will never run out. As for this, pasture prohibition. I did, as you can see, different livestock here. I've got the sheep, which will produce wool and milk, and I've got crocodiles that will produce leather.
U-boats versus submarines. Canal Uno investigates the underwater menace. Later, Atlantis fish people, the real underwater menace.
Did I ever set up a... I don't know if I ever... Yeah. I never placed a bus stop because I never knew where this one would end up going, really. But now I do. It'll go right over here. So that these people can get to work extra fast. Which means they will be producing... They will be working more and spending less time on their commute. Everything is running efficiently. I'll have to, yeah, unemployed citizens have gone down by like 70, you know? I still have a bit of a homeless issue, for sure. But with all of those people now being employed, it should be a lot easier. And with the bus stop, I'm not gonna have people moving into shacks over here because they want to be close to work. They can live over here. I need that, I need this power plant to be working, you know? It uses coal. There's a coal mine right here. So, it should be, you know, nary coal preparation plant. Yeah. Cool. Once I have that, my network balance should be good, and all of these should have power as soon as this has coal. Is it ever going to be delivered? We'll have to find out.
I knew I could count on you to do the right thing. Eventually. And for a price.
Yeah. Yep. let me pause. I have currently got really good standing. I've got pretty decent. These statistics are definitely getting more shaky, but I'll get them under control. Especially now that I finally am making absurd amounts of money. Let me double check my trade routes. Right. I've currently got a good amount here. Let me actually hang on. Okay, the boats are ready. I will send these as soon as I can't send them to this superpower again. Once I have more superpowers to send them to, I'll be able to just send over and over again to different superpowers. And then I'll be making these trade routes more and more. Man, that was effective. It was a little bit concerning earlier on, but I'm in a really good position now. I'm gonna stop for now, and next time, I guess... Well, yep, I spoke too soon. Yeah. Next time, I guess I'll deal with this problem, right? I'm not gonna get around building a neighborhood over here, am I? Not that easily. Maybe I need more houses over here. I don't know. How is it that this is the lowest? I'm surprised my healthcare happiness is slightly above it. I was about to say, I only have a few clinics. Anyway. And I need to raise this some more. I will deal with all of that next time. I have played for a while. Alright. Expanded quite a bit. The allies are annoying me. That's it for now.